Chapter 4. So Pink Rabbit and Marina and I had tea together with Princess Dulcinea and her merbear. We had cupcakes and sea berries and a little sharpened sandwich with a crusted cut on. It was all very nice, but everything tasted a bit soggy. It was lovely, I said politely. Thank you. Could I please have the comb now? Princess Dulcinea frowned. Will give it to you, she said, if you played a game of hide and seek with me. But I began. I'll count, said the princess. Go and hide. So we all played hide and seek for quite a long time, and Marina whispered to me that we must always let the princess win. So we did. That was great fun, said the princess. Let's play something else now. I started outwards and towards the surface of the water and felt a bit worried. It was starting a little light. Let's play dress up, said the mermaid princess, and she led us over to a big box of jewels by her throne. She began to pick out into the pearl and necklace and coral bracelets and shiny tiaras made of shells and starfish. Put this on, she ordered, holding a jewel so to me. I started to object. Oh, go on, said Princess. No one ever come to play with me. I glanced up to the surface of the water again. It was getting lighter by the second. I can't, I said. I'm sorry, but I really have to go. Can I have the comb back now, please? The princess looked cross a little bit sad. I'll give it to you if you give me Pink Rabbit, she said. Oh no, I said, shocked. I absolutely cannot give you Pink Rabbit. And he was hid living under the sea. The princess looked disappointed, and suddenly I knew that the matter was. She was lonely. I have an idea, I said. Why don't I try your merbear or life for you at exchange of the combs? I have my mom's wand with me. I think I know how to do it. The princess' eyes light up. She hugged her merbear and she checked and had held it towards me. Yes, she said, yes. If you can make my bear come alive, I promise I'll give you the comb. I held out Mom's wand and pointed at the bear. Using a magic wand is not my strongest skill, but I had to try. I waved it back and forth of the water, and a stream of bubbles shoot out in the end. When the clear of the merbear was twitching his hand and moving his paws about. But still, something wasn't quite right. Quickly, I waved my wand again, and again, until finally I got it round. Phew! I whispered to Pink Rabbit. That almost didn't work. The princess beamed happily as the merbear swam around her circle. She held out the comb to me. Thank you, Isadora, she said. Take the comb, it's yours. I tucked the comb safely in my pajamas pocket before the princess could change her mind, and then Marina and I goodbye to left into the palace. As we swam back in towards the surface of the water, I couldn't see it was morning. We reached onto the surface, and I took a big gulp of the air. Pink Rabbit's bubbles popped and I caught him just before he fell onto the water. Marina smiled at me and I smiled back. "It was nice to meet you," she said. "It was nice to meet you too," I replied. "Thank you so much for helping me to find my dad's comb." "It was a pleasure," said Marina in her twinkling little voice. "And you made the Mermaid Princess very happy." I started to talk onto the magic necklace off. "Keep it," said Marina. "It wouldn't work again, but it's pretty. You can wear it." "Thank you," I said, feeling happy inside. Marina glanced at the rising sun. "I had better go," she said. "I don't want to supposed by any humans, and you had better get back too." I nodded and flapped my wings, sending a flurry of the water debris flying as I rose into the air. "Goodbye, Marina," I said. "Goodbye, Isadora," she replied. And then, when the splash and laugh, she was gone. I held Pink Rabbit in my arms and we flew fast as we could back to the campsite. It was very still early and all was quiet. I snuck into Mom and Dad's tent and slipped once into Mom's bag before holding my own tent to put on some dry clothes. When I poked my head out onto the tent, I got to surprise my life. Dad was sitting by the campfire. He was wearing a t-shirt short and he was busy making breakfast for everyone. "There you are, Isadora," he said. "You're up bright and early." But, what are you doing up so early?" I asked. "It looks like it is going to be a lovely day," said Dad. "We're going to the beach again. Last night, Mom told me that you swam underwater yesterday. I'm really sorry I missed it." It made me realize that I don't want to miss this or anything else this holiday. I can't wait for the show. Me, you're underwater swimming later. "I can't wait to show you," I said. "But what about your combs, Dad?" He looked sad for a minute, but then he shook his head and shrugged. "It was a beautiful comb," he said, "and very precious, but it was my own fault was bringing into the beach. I should have left into the tent. And I've been thinking spending time with my family was important than a silly comb. Besides," he said, running his head through the slicked hair, "and still I got my hair gel." I took the comb from behind my back and held out to Dad. His eyes went big and wide and his mouth made up O shapes. "I'm really sorry," I said, "but it was me who lost your comb. I put it on my sandcastle and the sea washed it away. But then I went to search it for and found it. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner." Dad took the comb in his face and cried out in delight. "My comb!" he cried, jumping onto the air. "My beloved comb!" He kissed it and ran away into the tent to lock it safely in his suitcase. When Dad came back, we sat down together next to the campfire. "Isadora," Dad said, "I'm glad you found my comb, but honestly, it wasn't the best picnic. If you had told me you lost it, we could have looked for it together." "Sorry, Dad," I said. Dad gave me a big hug and we cooked breakfast together. After that, it was time to go to the beach and It was the best day ever. Dad came into the sea and let me rise in his back, and then I showed him my underwater swimming, which was loads better after all of the practice I had at the night before. Dad was very impressed. We all had a picnic together, and then we made the biggest, fanciest sandcastle ever. Fit for a vampire fairy mermaid princess, said Dad. That night I felt so happy as we all sat round the campfire eating our dinner. Dad even tried to roast the marshmallow onto the stick. Usually he rolls anything but red juice. Isadora's underwater swimming was fantastic, he said. I'm so glad I'm not sea today. I felt prouder than I ever to lick my marshmallows. Dad put his arms around me, and Mom and Honey Blossom were the firelights flicking out the face. Suddenly I felt very tired. You're just like a mermaid, said Dad as I snugged into him. I laughed sleepily. Don't be silly, Dad, I said. Everyone knows there's no such thing as mermaid. Then I turned my hand and winked at Pink Rabbit, moonlight flashing up his button eyes, and I could tell he was winked back. I finished talking and I realized that the whole class was staring at me with their mouths wide open, even Mrs. Cherry. It sounded like you had amazing holidays, Adora, she said. I wanted to see a mermaid, shouted Arzo. I want to toast the marshmallow on the campfire, said Oliver. I want to sleep in our tent, said someone else. I put on the shell necklace and out under my uniform. This is the necklace the mermaids gave me, I told the class. I took it off and held it out into the air, and so that the shells twinked together. It sounded like Marina's laugh. Ooh, dear whispered. They are as big and round like circles. Those eyes were biggest them all. I walked over to her desk and held out the necklace. It's for you, I said to her. A holiday present. Zoe beamed. How lovely, said Mrs. Cherry. Then she looked at her watch. My goodness, she explained. Look at the time. We will have to carry one of this after lunch. Thank you, Isadora, for giving us such interesting account of your holiday. I smiled. Suddenly, I didn't mind show I tell so much anymore. I expect your family will be going camping again next year, said Mrs. Cherry, as we had such a wonderful time this summer. Oh no, I said in surprise. Let's choose the holiday next year. We are going to the nighttime vampire hotel. They've got a spa.